Welcome to part 2 of our first episode in this series entitled How to Find the Right Program and School. In part 1, we talked about the important factors to consider when choosing a school and program. Now, let's get hands-on. In this video, I will walk you through a step-by-step search process showing you exactly how to find a fully funded master's program in the US. This video may be long, but believe me, it is worth it. Let's get started. Step 1 in finding a school or program is a Google search. First, let's go to Google. Once we get here, we are going to type exactly what we are looking for. And for that, you need specific information. Try to be as specific as possible. You can also be generic if you do not have all the information you need. But here are some 4 key elements to include in your Google search. It should have the degree, master's program, for example. It should have the location, US. It should have the name of the program. Is it computer science? Is it biology? Is it French? And it should have the funding option. Fully funded if you need full coverage, or scholarships. For the purpose of this exercise, we are going to search fully funded master's programs in computer science in the US. You see, we have information about the funding options, the program, the degree, and the location. Let's go ahead and search. You see, this is a broad search, but it helps us gather different resources that list scholarships, universities, and funding opportunities. So once you land on the result page, the second step is selecting a school or article. Now let's go ahead and glance through our search results. And as you can see, we have articles like this one, 22 fully funded master's program. That is an article. And you will also notice that we have schools, the University of Oregon, for example. So you have options. You could go for a university or an article. My preference is the article, and that is because it saves me a lot of time. Whenever I select an article, I realize that most of the work has been done for me. They have summarized some information and they give me the key information I need about a school or a program. So for this video, we will go with an article. We will select this article that's going to tell us about 22 fully funded master's program in computer science. Always feel free to go through as many as possible, to go through the options and make sure you make the right choice. So now that our article is open, we quickly see that we have our first university, Princeton University, and like the title indicates, 22 universities. They will go over 22 universities. But for the purpose of this video, we will quickly glance through and maybe not be able to go over the 22, but we will take a close look at a few of them and choose one university that we want to use for the purpose of this exercise. So let's go ahead and look. Like I was saying, you have some very important information, and the others of the articles have done most of the work for you. They will give you information about the program, like you have the name of the university first, and then you have information about the program, Masters of Science in Engineering, Masters of Engineering. You also have information about the location. One thing I want to say about the location here is that as an international student, when you are applying, it is very, very important to make sure that your location is a physical one. You cannot be applying for an online program. No. If you want to apply for an online program, there is no need for you to request a visa, for you to request to be here in the US in person. If it is an online course, then you can complete it from your home, from the comfort of your home in your country. There is no need for you to come here. So pay attention to the location. The third step is selecting a school. After looking at a couple of schools, go ahead and select the one that you want. So let's quickly glance through and find the university that I selected for the purpose of this exercise. Make sure you take your time and go over all of these universities. They may have some information that would definitely give you the check, give you the go ahead to choose the school. So make sure you take your time and look at these universities and program really, really closely. Great. So now we have the university and program that I selected for the purpose of this video. So it is going to be the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, and the program is MSc in Computer Science. Location, of course, we can see is a physical location, the city campus. And one thing about the articles that I want to mention here is that you always have a link available to take you directly to the school website. If you are not sure about the link, once you have the information about the program and the name of the school, just open a new tab in Google, go ahead and manually type it in. But I think the link provided in the article is going to work. So let's go ahead and select the link, opening it in a new tab, and let's see where that takes us. Oh, great. We have the school website. So we have been directed to the school website, and step 4 is navigating the school website. Once you get on the school website, I need you to pay attention to 4 key information that you need to make that choice. Once you're on the school website, you need information about application deadlines. It's always important to know if we still got time. The second information you need is the admission requirements. You need to be able to meet the requirements to even know if you got a chance or not. The third thing is the funding options. Look at the funding options. Do they have what you are looking for? Will they be able to cover you? And the last thing is the program description. Read about the program. Read about the courses they offer. And look at their areas of specialization. It's very important. Now let's scroll down and see what information we have here. Great. So the link from the article immediately brings us to information on application deadlines. One thing I want to mention here is that school resumes twice in the US at the university. You have the fall admission here, and school resumes in August during the fall admissions, and for spring admission, school resumes in January. So for the fall admission, meaning if you intend to start school in August, make sure you take note of this date, January 15, if you will be needing financial consideration. And the last date to apply is going to be March 1st. So by March 1st, your application should be completed. But if you will be needing financial consideration from the school, make sure you let them know by January 15. And if you intend to start school in January instead, the first date you need to pay attention 2 is September 1st. That's if you need financial consideration. If you will be needing financial support from the school, assistantship, scholarship, make sure you let them know by September 1st. And your application should be completed by October 1st if you intend to start school in January. And another important information at the bottom is you need to stick to the dates if you really want to be shortlisted for financial consideration. Now, if we scroll down all the way to the bottom, you're going to notice there is a contact person available. Make sure you email them and ask all your questions. Even if you have all the information you need and you just need clarification or confirmation, feel free to email them. They will give you the answer you need. Now, let's scroll back up. Here we had application deadlines. Now we are moving to admission requirements. And I need you to remember that this display is not going to be the same for each university's website. It may be different. You may need to open another page to be able to find another type of information about that program. So be mindful. The display is not always going to be the same. So we'll be looking at the admission requirements. So it will tell you about the program, about the degree, and about the grades, even proficiency. Let's start with the program. Here, it is mentioned that you need to have completed some courses and have background knowledge in these areas. If you did not, then you will be admitted with provision, and you will have to complete those courses before being definitively admitted. Now let's look at the degree. For the degree, we'll focus on international students. All they need from an international student is an equivalent degree, a degree equivalent to the US bachelor's degree. And talking about grades and scores, remember I told you about the GPA, which is the grading system in the US. Here they require you to have 3 on 4. That's the GPA, that's the requirement. And finally, we have the English proficiency. If you are a non-native speaker of English, of course, you need to demonstrate some ability to complete courses in English. And for that, they need to test your language skills. So here, it's mentioned that you can take the TOEFL. There are so many tests out there. Here, you have the TOEFL and you have another option, the IELTS. And of course, the only way you can be exempted is if the language used at your university was English. The language of instruction is English. Now let's scroll back up and see what we have next. Next, we have tuition and funding. Remember, we needed information about tuition and funding. You need to know if they offer the type of financial support that you need. Scholarships, assistantships, grants, fellowships. So let's take a look. Here we have assistantships, which is great. So remember I mentioned in one of my videos there's a difference. There is something specific about assistantships. You need to work in return for the aid that the school grants you. You get a job on campus and you get paid for it, of course, but you need to work in return. I was a teacher and I got paid every month for teaching undergrads French. So we have assistantships here in 2 types, teaching assistantships and research assistantships. I'll make a video about that to explain what exactly the difference is. But of course, the keywords are teaching and research. One focuses on teaching and the other one on research. So if assistantship is what you're looking for, great. Go ahead and read about it. If it is exactly what you're looking for, then you're good to go. And the last information we needed on the website is some information about that program, we want to have an idea of the courses they offer or what it's going to look like during those 2 years. So we do not have it here, but we may look at it up here, computer science. So let's scroll down and try to find some information about this program. Great. Some information is the degree option. There's always the thesis option or the coursework option or even the project option. When I was at Georgia State, I chose the thesis option. So by the end, I worked on my thesis, while I had some classmates that chose the coursework or the project. It is different. If you chose the thesis, then you'll be given more time to work on it, while others will need to take additional courses during that time. So take your time, go ahead, read about the program, look at what courses they have, look at their areas of specialization is really, really important. Talking about assistantship, one key thing you need to remember is that assistantships only apply to graduate students. That's master's and PhD, not undergraduate programs. So if you're an undergraduate student, I recommend you focus on scholarships instead. And the last step after navigating the website is the application process, and that will be done here, how to apply. One last but very, very important tip is do not hesitate to email the admissions office or the program coordinator. If you do not find clear information about funding, for example, we only saw something about assistantship, you may want to email them and ask if they have scholarships, if they have fellowships, if they have grants. So sending a professional email may be a game changer. A lot of students overlook this, but schools are really often happy to provide guidance. And that is it for part 2. We have covered how to search for fully funded programs, what key details to look for, and why reaching out to schools is very, very helpful. If you found this helpful, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you in the next video. Au revoir.